everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy time of day wherever it is you are in the world right now. It is a lovely rainy afternoon here in Washington. Finally have all of the crazy yard work outside has completed. Of course, as soon as you go to do a recording is when they need to mow the lawns and trim the sidewalks and whatnot. But so happy to finally be here to be able to record this and share some information with you. Thought this was a really important topic, slightly side different from our usual content of social media or digital marketing in general. But for a business, especially an online business, this is a really, really important topic. And as more and more businesses are coming online and moving to have their operations online, one of the things we need to talk about is how do you maintain good client communication? And what do I mean by that? So with your clients, your customers, when they'd come into your shop or they'd come into your office previously, it would be a very different conversation when you have somebody, or it's a very different interaction, I should say, when you're able to sit there and shake somebody's hand and look them eye to eye, have a full conversation, do the work in person, and or they're able to touch the actual products and to try on the actual clothes. And when you shift this online, the experience changes, but you want to keep that same value there, those same premise of what they're experiencing. You know, they shake your hand and look you in the eye and have that conversation with you because they want to know who you are and trust you as a person. How can you provide that online? When people come in, they want to browse through the products, look through the shelves, sift through various items, be able to look at what you have to offer and what it does, what the product can do. How do you move that online? Can you take a video of it and show a demonstration? Think about the photos you see for clothing stores, for example. What is the difference between a clothing store that just has, a shirt that's hanging on a hanger on a rack and sends a picture versus somebody who is actually wearing the shirt and showing it off and demonstrating it, or a video of them moving around? That really helps you get an idea of it a little bit better. So let's talk a little bit more about making sure your clients and your customers really understand what you're doing when you transfer to that online space of business. This is important whether you've been online before or if you are used to working out of a brick and mortar and now you are working a lot more online. So previously, when you've purchased a product or service, you really know exactly what you get, exactly what you're going to receive. Especially when you buy something off Amazon, you have a pretty good idea of what's going to show up. Especially, or for example, when you buy something like a cell phone, you know you're going to receive a piece of equipment that's going to allow you to make phone calls and take photos and browse the web. When you're paying for your car to be serviced, for example, you know that you're going to receive an oil change and they're probably going to check your air filter, put air in your tires, maybe rotate your tires. You know what that service is, you know what the function of those products are. It's very straightforward. Now, if your company doesn't necessarily have a product or service that's that well known or that straightforward, how are you still going to communicate those same values? You've probably heard the saying, everyone loves to buy, but nobody wants to be sold to. And that makes a lot of sense. And that's even more true online than it is in person. You know, when you're walking around the mall and the kiosks and you have those people who are handing you samples and wanting to give you demonstrations of their products, that can get really annoying, especially when you're in a hurry. And when you're online and you're just getting bombarded with all this messaging and these pop-ups for people asking you to buy something from them or give them something, that can get really annoying too. So as a business, what can you do to better communicate your product, better communicate your service and that value without being annoying? So the first step is to set proper expectations. Now, thinking about a cell phone store, think about walking into a store when you're going to purchase a cell phone. What is that like? Regardless of what company you go into, it's a pretty similar experience. There's lots of cell phones on the wall. You have a person that'll probably come over and add your name to a list and then help you with something. You can test out, you can demo the products a little bit, get set up with a service plan. You know how that works. Now take a moment here and think about what that's like online. Have you ever purchased a piece of technology or cell phone, laptop online? Now companies like Apple are really smart about this. Think about what it's like to go into an Apple store. You get to test out the different types of phones that they have, test out the different laptops. It has those same color schemes, the same shapes, and that branding is the same on their website. Their website communicates that same experience. So what can you do if you're offering a product or a service that's not as common as a cell phone and you're not as widespread as Apple? Well, you can take those same ideas and apply them to your business. So if you were to have a shop, or you did have a shop, what were some of the things that made it special? What were some of the key traits? Did you have a sign on the wall? Did you have a brick wall? Did you have a blue wall? Could you make your website replicate that? Make it look familiar. When somebody walked in, did you immediately say, hello, how can I help you? Well, can you put a chat help bot on your website that pops up and says, how can I help you? And whenever someone asks a question, it pings you on your phone and you can respond. These are all elements of how you can transfer those client expectations or those customer expectations from a physical realm to a virtual realm. And this is really, really important because it's really easy for somebody to pop down to a store and remember who you are and know that you're there and have that conversation. But when you're online, you also have so many other distractions. Somebody might get a phone call while they're surfing on their phone, or they'll be on their Facebook and looking at pictures of their friends and what they're up to. And there's lots of things that happen online that are distracting versus when somebody's standing in your store. Granted, there are still distractions there, but they're still in your store. So you want to be able to make sure that you're communicating very clearly that same messaging online. So just a quick recap, when you are moving from working into a physical location into a virtual space, like a brick and mortar, to an online business, or you're starting your business online for the first time, keep in mind to set those client and customer expectations. How can you keep that branding similar? How can you keep the communication similar and set those good expectations so that people know when they come in, they know what they're looking for, they know what they're going to get. When they go to your website, they can find what they're looking for, they can find what information that they want to know. So that is just a really quick conversation on setting proper expectations when moving your business online. So thanks so much. Have a great day.